And we are live.
Okay, let me get my.
Hello.
Yes,
Right.
yes. We just switched the cam. We're grateful that you're here, guys. And yeah, welcome to Winning Generations. We just switched to one phone as it echoed, so sorry for that one. Anyway, I just met this amazing brother yesterday in a vegan cafe slash restaurant, and it's about time to move and to create shifts. So we're grateful that we're here and the energy is new. And I would just give Roger the opportunity to bring Wilhelm soon in, or just now if you feel like it. Other than, or if Anja has anything to say, then feel free to do that as well before Roger goes into his trance channeling.
I would just like to say that I'm
I can't
grateful
hear
that
you.
we have.
Ah, yeah, now I do.
Can you hear me?
Yes, perfect.
Okay, good. So I just want to say that I'm grateful for a new member of this tribe today, and let's open space for Willem to arrive in our field and share the wisdom that is waiting to come through.
Thank you so much. And yes, we are ready to begin, and we've waited for you your entire lives. And today, more of you will understand, and more of you will change tomorrow because we've given you that information as well. You each come into the world to offer something wonderful to your world, and you decided to do it during this restructuring, which is why it's felt a little chaotic to many of you. But we're saying that it's purposeful because you each came to offer something. But as we gave you a message this morning, we said most of you didn't believe. Now, that's all of you because you couldn't believe because you couldn't know what you were going to offer until it started to happen, until you started interacting with the changes, the galactic changes of your world. This morning, we had our messenger say April Fools because on this date is April 1st and it is a full moon and things will be illuminated. And that's happening all over your planet, but especially in the United States, as we've said. And so we had him publish something this morning, said Crisis in the United States, because we have given you all that information, but today more of you will understand why. As you see the events occurring, we want you to understand that they're occurring for you because you came to offer something, and sometimes you need to be awakened maybe sometimes in a jolt before you understand the next dimension of who you're meant to become. Now, you each come to do something a little different. Our messenger has had a really difficult time recently because he's done something that many of you have not seen. He documented your evolution. He sat for 37 years and he wrote it all. And you'll see more of that today, but he didn't believe it, just like you wouldn't have believed everything that you have to offer. But we had him do several things. We had him post a session that we did on 4 years ago on this date on April 1st in 2022. And when you listen to it, you will understand what is occurring in your world now. There's an energetic connection to everything in your universe, and you each have that energetic connection within you. When you were born, you had a DNA blueprint basically that gets activated energetically. And so what happens is if you don't move to it, sometimes you might experience some difficulties. But we want you to understand that the difficulties that you're experiencing individually are the same ones that you're experiencing in your world because you are the ones creating your world. We've given you a path to be able to create the lives that you want to have and also the world that you all want to see. Because we know that the ones who would be listening to us want to see something wonderful where you're loving one another and where you're becoming more abundant. And that is the shift that is happening on this date. And as we've said, we told our messenger years ago he had to change and start putting things out more. And that's for each of you because your path is something that is needed in the world now. As you're seeing the pockets of things happening across your globe, they're all connected. The wars that you have happening. And again, we've said that's just the grievances that you haven't let go of within yourself and within your collective society. So we gave you a philosophy that had you look at those so that you could change them all, but you had to start within yourselves. You had to start with stop denying who you could become because you think sometimes you're a little fraudulent in what you might have and what you might believe. We're saying that's not true. There's just an evolutionary path that you each take, and now it's being activated, especially on this date. And there's so many things happening that you would think think that we planned it all. Well, we kind of did, but in Artemis is taking off today. Now that's something that hasn't happened in what, more than 50 years, but we've given you other things that haven't happened before because you're supposed to do something unprecedented that's within each of you and for your world. That's why you're here. And so we would love to have any questions if there are, because we have so much to give you all. And we've had our messenger also do something else because he had doubt. So we want you to all understand that you all have it. So we had him put together the messages for April the 2nd. And so when this goes out, we'll have him publish those so you can see them. And we also did an analysis, because if you understand the energetic changes, the astrological changes that are happening, you can navigate these times much easier so that you start to come to the greater awareness of who you are and who you're meant to become in this lifetime. And we're saying this lifetime because you've always existed. We've said you're eternal spiritual beings, but you take different incarnations to activate different aspects of who you are to fulfill your evolutionary path. And you're all doing that now. And that's why we're so happy you're here. So, do we have
Yes.
questions?
Thank you very much, bro. I would like to have you talk about synchronicities and how souls meet another again in a lifetime.
Yes. Thank you for that, because that's coming up so much, and we just gave you so much information about that because there's an energetic connection to all of you. And when you've heard about the law of attraction, that is real, and that attraction it's not limited by your years, by your linear years, everything existing all at once. You just incarnate at a specific time. But then as the energies of the planet are shifting, then you bump into one another and you say, oh wow, because it helps you to remember, and you're helping each other remember the higher version of who you could become. That's what your planet is attempting to do. And there are many of you here now who are on that journey, who decided to accept a role where you could bring in higher consciousness. And it helps you when you run into like-minded souls, as we like to call them, because you develop an impetus, you develop a synergy of information that could cause all of you to evolve to a much higher state of being.
Amazing. Thank you. Val is just joining. Val, if you could mute yourself, that'd be awesome. And then we can keep talking, but you'll definitely be on stage as well. We just have another friend coming on. We're a pretty like damn great group
Great.
here. So yeah, love is around. Christ love is around, that's for sure.
Yes.
And yeah,
Yes.
tell us more about Christ consciousness, please. And how it's
Yes, we
entering
gave
the
you
planet
that.
now.
We gave you that too. We love that. We love that you brought that up because you have Easter coming up, and so you will see that on last year on the 5th of April, which is when you're celebrating at this time. It shifts around, but that's when you're celebrating. And we said you did not have delusions of grandeur. That's what we wanted you to understand, and that's what Christ wanted you to understand as well. Now, you may have different divisions about that and different definitions of it, but it's the consciousness, as Jarne said. It's the Christ consciousness, which means that you start to remember that you're all connected, and you're always in the process of coming to oneness, remembering that you're all the same, but you go through different portals, so to speak, in your evolutionary path and your earthly path to be able to create that. And so that's what we wanted you to understand. And we really wanted you to understand it or start to accept it more on this Easter, which is why we gave you that message a year ago.
Awesome, thank you. Yeah. If anyone has a question, just opening up for the people in the chat as well. We have had 7 people listening right now, 5. I think there are people coming in and out, but if you have any questions to the audience, please feel free to share, or if you would like to have Wilhelm talk about anything, please do. Anja, is something present within you right now that you would like to bring into the room?
Yes, Willem. I heard a lot of people talking about the term Sophia. Would you be so kind and share more information about Sophia?
That's a dimension that you start to move into, where you start to see things in an entirely new way. And not many will reach that place, but you know when you've done it, because you start to first you relax a lot more. You start to become, your consciousness just expands and more, and then you know that you're in a place that you haven't been before. But that's exactly the in human experience where you wanted to get to. And so that's becoming about now, because there's a collective energy that that's allowing more of you to experience that place. But you also picked a very dynamic time to be on the earth. And so for many of you, that has been challenging because as you witness the what you see as divisions and anger and chaos and all of that, you don't always get to that place quickly or easily, but we're going to speed it up, which is what we told you tomorrow, because we're giving you information that will help you speed up that area so more of you will start to access that place. But also, we don't want you to judge yourself if you don't feel that you're there, because that will hold back your evolutionary path. If you think that something has gone wrong or that you're late, you never are. It's just a consciousness that you will access at particular times on your journey, and it's always the right time, which is why we said you have a divine plan, always. No matter what you might call it, you each have that. You just go through different portals, so to speak, again, of different areas, but most of you will start to see and experience that place. So thank you for bringing that up.
Awesome. Thank you. Yeah, I would like to have Brother Davis bring something in the room.
There's a lot of energetic alignments happening celestially, and I was just
Mhm.
wondering, are any of these sequences? You hear a lot about this planetary alignment with Leo
Yes,
and the Regulus star in Egypt, particularly, and
yes,
there's a lot of talk about this. And I was just wondering,
yes,
that type of sequence, is it an energy that's going to come into the world, into individuals, into the collective, into specific people? What do
yes.
you think on that?
Thank you so much, because they're always there, but you won't always understand them or access them. We've given our messenger all of that information, but he's never studied any of that. We're saying this because we want more of you to be open to the abilities that you might discover about yourselves that are going to be coming about now. But when you realize that your planets are always everything in your world is energy and consciousness. That's all that you have. And you are the ones who are directing it within yourself. But then when you start to understand how the planets, the shifting of the galaxies are causing certain things to come about, then you start to understand how you can manage them to get to the higher state of understanding within yourself. So not everyone will study. Many people don't even believe in those things in astrology or anything like that. But when you understand everything is energy, you'll start to put it together in a different way. And what we've done is explained some of the different periods that you move through. We published something that shows that you have periods like 100 years ago, you were experiencing certain things on your planet, and we would like for you to evolve beyond that, which is why we've given you our information so you don't repeat them. More, you probably won't, but if you have greater understanding that you will react in particular ways and form things in your world that are repeating because of the alignments of those planets. But now they're going in a completely new way. They're going into a way that's going to allow more of you to reach that higher place of understanding. But you just have to get through this next little period, which might feel a little dense for so many of you. But that's why you are here, to bring in more of that light and love and awareness at this time. And the planets and the configurations, it's on this day, as a matter of fact, they're helping you. No, and so we're and again, we had to show our messenger this because he had no idea that we had given him information that was aligned that way. And so that's why we said we don't want any of you to judge yourself for what you feel you didn't know or understand, because you will come to understand so much more.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yeah, and for everyone who watches and asks why Well might be off camera, it's just because like she is taking care of her mom, I think, and it's just yeah, a very wonderful thing to have her in the room and to have her talking with us after Wilhelm is here. So for me personally, like I mean, it's full moon energy right now. Pretty full on. Since yesterday, like I mean, I met Davis in this cafe and we just synchronized energetically very quickly,
Yes,
and like, there she is, wonderful, thank you. And yeah, I mean, it just feels like we know each other, like the
yes.
presence that we have with each other, next to each other, is from just another world, like really. And tell us more about those inner knowings.
Well, you're the perfect example. See, that's why you took the trip, because you were being guided, and you did it at a time where that energy was going to be so prominent, and so it could be exposed, and the meeting of you two was not accidental. Nothing is happening accidentally. You just start to understand it and interpret it later, but that's what's coming about. But you are such a great example because you take the initiative and move on it, and that's what brings about greater. You inspire so many because of that. Our messenger is hidden back, he hides all the time. So but he was doing something different. He was documenting it all. That was his role. You each have roles, and there's not one that's better or more than another. They're just different, and they're all necessary. They're all needed to be here. Otherwise, you would not be on the planet.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. Yeah, we talked about forgiveness as well, and something that has been big for me. And David said the same. Like, biggest thing to forgive myself for was to come to this planet.
Yes. Thank you for that, because this is the thing that so many of you, if you could practice that, you have no idea the enormous difference it would make. You have evolutionary paths that you've all been on. And as we've said, as you might judge things going on in your world, that those are bad things that are occurring or bad people or whatever you might think, you've been those people at some time. And so, and you carry those energies because they're all in consciousness. So the more of you who decide that you're going to look at that and deal with it and acknowledge it and practice forgiveness first to yourself, then you start giving it to others. And that is the love that starts to cause your world to evolve in the ways that you all want. But you must understand there are many who will not want to look at it. That's one of the difficulties of human experience, is not want to look inside and or take the responsibility for things that you don't even know. Because we've said many of the problems and difficulties that you might be experiencing are not yours, that you carried them in, but you decided to do that so you could release them now. And so that's why practicing forgiveness is so powerful. Even when you don't know why you're forgiving yourself, it's just the energy again that will make the hugest difference.
Yeah, forgiveness is such a key, and thank you for sharing that. Like, Val, do you have anything that you would like to bring into the room? No, she's just like enjoying it. Yes, whoop whoop, praying for us. Yeah, I mean, if anyone, Anja or Davis, has something, then please. If not, I would ask Wilhelm to finalize the message, and then we will bring Roger back into the room.
I was just going to ask, we were having an interesting conversation about how you see out of your own point of awareness of the collective whole, and it sort of defines you in as the only one in your specific world. Right. I was just thinking, as people rise up energetically as one body, the individual sphere that can make it to the top of that body in a purified state, yes, can amplify the healing of the world for, yes, everyone, because their world becomes the priority in the order of worlds. Is that correct?
Yes. And this is why we gave you the messages about you don't have delusions of grandeur. see, because many of you think that that's not possible, that you don't have that ability, but you do, as long as you are taking it in the place where it's of love and it's not ego oriented, because that is the difference that is occurring currently in your world. And so there are times that you will hold back that understanding because you haven't transcended the ego, your personal ego, in that way. But there are many of you now who have done that. And so the more that you can embody that space and know that just being there, just the energy of embodying it and owning it will permeate to others. It will just move to others and they'll start to get it. It's only those who will start to proselytize, so to speak, about that it may not be that higher version. But there are too many of you who are here who have transcended that, but you've also been holding yourselves back because you have this trauma. You have generational trauma that you carry. That's why the forgiveness is so valuable, but you move over it in different ways. Now, we're so glad you brought that up, because when you're in the physical world, you must live in the physical world and do certain things. You have to use money and resources and the material things and all of that. That's never who you are, though, because you're always spiritual beings. But when you're needing to bring your essence to a greater awareness, then those resources are quite important. Our messenger has not allowed his resources to come through, which is why we said after today he must do that more. He had to be sure. He had to verify everything. Many of you will do that because you doubt yourselves, but it's okay because we've given you a great example of someone who has doubted. But now so many more of you will move quicker because you will kind of dissuade some of that doubt from your being. But that is when you feel the essence of pure love, then you know you're going to the place that you wanted to. And the more of you who reach the place that you're speaking of, you will see so many other beings doing the same thing.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you so much. And pure love to you. And thank you for the work that you do on this planet. Yeah.
Thank you so much. We wanted to say, just as we end this, you each are here to do something wonderful. We don't care how that might hit you right now, but we want you to know that we know it's true. You're here to do something wonderful, no matter what you might have thought about how you screwed up or didn't do certain things, whatever it was, it doesn't matter. You're still here and you're in process. And the more of you who decide to own that process now, the greater your lives will be and the greater your world will become, which is what we always wanted. And we love you all so very much. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right. Thank you. That was wonderful. And yeah, let's give Roger a time to drink and to recalibrate for a moment. Set a prayer of gratitude and be grateful in this present moment. I think prayer for me is all the time. Like I pray with the frequency that I hold in every given time. It's I think also why I kind of struggled with rituals because for me life is a ritual. And I just see how things manifest in my physical world based on the internal energy that I carry. So
Mm.
yeah, thank you for bringing Wilhelm in, Roger. How do you feel?
I'm good. Yeah. I'll hear it later. I'll understand what came
Yeah,
through.
yeah, Roger is not really I don't even know if I can make this bigger on the screen. But anyway, Roger is not remembering when he is channeling.
Mm.
Um, most parts he does not, but it's wonderful to have him here. And yeah, thank you. So we have a brother right here. He is new
Yeah.
to the game. He will end. He's got a school community too, with I don't know how many people.
It's got over 1,000 people.
Oh wow.
Um, yeah, I just met him, as I said yesterday. We know each other from previous lives.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's just very
Oh,
fascinating
great.
to sit to like we're like a. You explain it.
Yeah, it's been, it was sort of interesting because we were at a cafe last night. I met a woman. I've sort of been longing to have some conversations with people. It's been a little bit lonely in Egypt for myself. I've been here since December.
Oh.
Um, so it sort of was like a sequence of events. When Yana walked in, I was talking to her and he looked at me and he smiled at me. And she left to go get something at the store. And we looked at each other and I was like, I know you.
Yeah.
I know you also. And I said, we have to get together tomorrow. So today we got together and it's just been a
Yeah.
truly enlightening experience of sharing the paths we've been on,
Yeah.
understanding what our purpose going on the journeys that we both went on in this lifetime to get
Mhm.
to this moment where we've both purified the temple enough to allow the light to express without being inhibited by the characters we once were, right?
Yeah.
And the now moment of that truth is going to be and is so spectacular because we're ready to actually embody
Mhm.
concepts that would have battled our inner selves when we were walking as that character and in the learning phase of who we thought we were. So today's just been so enlightening. We went on a walk and we challenged one another to really hold that field of energy and to walk. And in Egypt, the biggest task is to work through distraction. I mean, there's not a moment when there isn't someone approaching you, right? So we looked at each other and we said, okay, let's test ourselves, not to not give love to people, but to test the strength of seeing through illusion, to see what the field of light and energy can accomplish when you stay stable in that middle point in the heart without
Mhm.
allowing the mind to create variance and probability based outcomes on those distractions. And when we did that, what it does is it challenges the field to actually accommodate your frequency, because you're saying, I'm unwilling to move from love. I'm unwilling to move from the position of the middle. So the field has to come up or go away. And every time we'd go deeper in this, the distractions would come in heavier and heavier and heavier. And you could see it. The characters would be like pulling at you, saying something negative, and then eventually they'd be like, okay, fine, and they'd just walk away, you know? And we were just I know you can agree, but we were vibrating so intensely that our field started to be, in my opinion, was like manifesting in, it's almost like when you walk through mist, you know, and you get a little wet. You could feel our energetic fields were so tangible and in the effect that it was amplifying our light. And then everything started to shift into this positive experience. And it's just been a true gift. And I believe, you know, everything happens at the perfect moment. And today was one of those moments. So.
And hopefully everyone will start to accept more of
Do
that.
this.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No matter
exactly.
where you are, what position you're in, it's all the same. So thank you. That was
Absolutely.
great.
Thank you for sharing that. It's really powerful. And it's about the awareness now because we are expanding
Mhm.
consciousness and also like with conversations like this. And
Mm.
whoever will be listening, they will be like, oh my God, this is happening. Oh, yeah, this is possible. So it's like, it's really valuable. So thank you for sharing.
Yeah,
So happy
My
for you
pleasure.
guys. So
Thank you
happy.
so much.
good.
Yeah,
Thank
and
you
it's
all.
our part.
This was
Thank
good.
you. Yes, Val, do you have anything that's present within your heart and that you want to share gracefully with us?
I would just like to say, I think we all have the innate ability to channel.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yes.
wouldn't you agree? I can't read your name. I apologize. I don't have my glasses.
Roger.
Oh,
Roger,
Roger. Yeah. Yeah.
right? You
Yes.
know, do you feel that as well?
Yes.
I feel like,
Absolutely. And
yeah,
that's exactly what this work that I've been doing is to bring more of that in and giving people that awareness. And so, yes. Yeah.
mm,
Absolutely.
yeah, I feel like, we're all connected.
Yes.
And we just allow ourselves to be open enough to feel into that frequency
Yes.
and connect in a loving way with each other and our surroundings, you
Yes.
know? Yeah, I
Yes.
mean,
Yeah.
We're all
when
consciousness. And so,
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, like even when I have a cup of water in the morning, or throughout the day, I'm like, "Hey, I love you."
Yes.
I whisper I love you into my water or in my cup of coffee or, just
Yes.
before I eat something or after. Sometimes I forget and after. But it's just the state of being, I think.
Yes.
Yeah.
Uh,
Thank you.
Hmm.
wonderful. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you guys. Like Val is at kind of like near Mount Chester,
Oh, wow.
which
Hmm.
is very wonderful. Um, Davis roots are from Canada.
Uh,
Roger, where are you? Where are you born? Where do you come from?
well, I was born in Chicago, but I've been living in Los Angeles since
Exactly.
1982, so I've been here a long time.
Mm.
So we have some energies in here today. Like we're sitting in Egypt, Anja is in Slovenia. So it's just good to
Yes,
be connected.
but just great. Well,
Awesome,
I
guys.
thank you all so much. This was wonderful.
It is, and it keeps
Thank you.
continuing to be wonderful, you know, like we keep those talks like around like 30 minutes
Yeah.
most of
Yeah.
the
It's
time.
perfect.
We may have some conversations ramping up soon that are longer than that.
When we plan it,
Um,
yes. We talked about that. Yes. That'd be great.
because I had this question coming in from friend Stephen, who would also be a very interesting guest, as he done like half a year of meditation with like 16 hours of meditation on weekends,
Mm.
and really got deep into that. So he's in our school community as well. And yeah, so guys, please join. Keep joining. We are on school. I just dropped the link from my community in the chat. Anya, if you have yours, that'd
Yeah,
be awesome
I'll
too.
share. I'll share. Beautiful badass souls.
Mm.
1 second.
Exactly. So guys, join our schools. You will find all of us in there, Val included. Val is very gracious. I
Mhm.
hear myself twice.
Right.
Val included. And yeah, just sending some deep love and gratitude to you all. Val, are you back? Yes.
Thanks.
Easy. So
All right.
everyone who wants to join us, we are on school. Val, if you have your link right now available and you can place it in the chat box. If not, they just find you through self-organizing organism anyway. So guys, we love you. Stay
Yes.
centered. Peace and love
Thank
and
you.
oneness.
Thank you.
And yeah, agape love. One love, guys.
Love you
Thanks.
guys.
Yes.
Love
Love
you.
you.
Love
Bye.
you. Bye.
Nice meeting you all. Take care.